Alright, we're going to record and stream a bullet tournament, the hourly bullet tournament on lichess.com. Going to attempt to play some openings. I've been trying to get games in for a while and never gotten games in. So, terrible idea to want to play them in bullet because, of course, it's much harder to figure out openings you're unfamiliar with in bullet rather than blitz. But, going to give it a go. So specifically, I will be aiming for the classical Sicilian if possible, and some weird either Nimzo-Rogozin lines. Obviously, the Nimzo, Indian, and the Rogozin are not that weird, or QGD Janowski's with an early A6. I've been playing many games I've recorded and tried to get these lines, and have gotten exactly one total classical Sicilian in my last 25 attempts to get these, because everyone is playing the London or the Trompowski or some kind of closed Sicilian against me. But hopefully I get something of interest here. It's not that the games have been dull, but they have not been, when you practice an opening, or look at it, you want to get some practice in, and it would be nice to get that practice in. Who do we got? We got Chess Flash 88 from Russia. They look pretty strong, very similarly rated. Edgem I haven't played either. I am 1-0 against Giovanni, but haven't played much of this field. I'm 2-0 against Mr. Red Sox. Don't you think it would be Red Sock, though? Singular? Not sure. As a person from Boston, this has been a debate I've been part of many times, and I feel it should be Red Sock, not Red Sox. Alright, this person's name is not asking to be said. Ooh, MPGM. 2566 and 2500 Blitz, so very good across the two formats. I'm definitely a better bullet player on this site, though I do take it more seriously as well, for deranged reasons. But, hoping that, that looks like a tough opponent. And Jose Valencia also looking very strong. So our first round game. Alright, we will not get one of the openings I discussed. Maybe we could have. I'm going to play Grunfeld. Maybe c6 and look to grab on c4. Alright, they denied that. I wonder if I can now play for a quick e5 and look to undermine their pawns. Let's open the e-file. I could also try to gain some space, but bishop a6 looks like a kind of active square. Maybe knight e4 coming. Now rook e1, f5. This looks like I am loosening myself a bit too much. Alright, I should sidestep the pin. So I come to f8. I hung c6. And let's try to hang as little more as we can. I'd like queen b4. Too clever. Okay. They can take b2. Play bishop d3. I hit a2. Maybe I can think about queen c2 as well. I have some activity. Do they have rook c1? They're playing nicely. Let's make sure my back rank is under some control. Maybe I have d2 and queen d1 now, though. d2? Let's try to get rook c1. Definitely a lot more promising than it was a few moves ago, because I have actual play now. I missed this. Alright, gotta go fast. Alright, this is gonna be tough because the clock situation means they should have played f6, yeah. They're going to be too fast for me. Yeah. Alright. Okay. Always the first game is very tough when you're recording bullet, because you haven't really calibrated your speed yet. I think I had a nice position at one point when my d-pawn got running, that they shouldn't have tried so hard to grab my bishop on d3, but ended up not accomplishing anything with it. Start 0 for 1, 43rd place. Bet I can go up from here. Can't go down. Or harder to go down. Let's play in English. I'd consider berserking, except that I'm just an abysmal berserker. Let's poke their knight, see what it wants to do. I don't mind allowing bishop h3. I think my bishop on g2 is, like, just blocked by my pawn. So to me, I think a lot of white players go to far too much effort to try to get that bishop off the board. They were playing so much faster than me. I should consider e5 hitting the rook. Though I don't know if I want to take it, so this might have been a little suspicious. Don't they lose the c5 bishop now? I think so. From pre-move rook takes c8. Alright, hit the queen. Has to go somewhere that keeps their bishop under control. Just play a3. My king should be pretty safe. I can play queen f3 at some point. Seems useful. I should have had queen a8 there. Then they had rook c8. Okay. Now I do. Silly to miss it last turn, though. I mean, maybe it wasn't the right move, but it should have at least been considered. I'll play rook e1 next. Possibly I should be going queen f5 check, but I don't know if there's any rush. Probably rook e5, threaten rook e8 mate. And I think we're going to get a win on the board. Yeah. Alright, 1 for 2. And we got another white game. Stick with the English. cd5 here is like a better Scandinavian, because I don't have a c-pawn that can't advance like you would in a Scandinavian. Interesting. I think I'll just take it. See if I can hold on to the pawn. Why not? It looks defendable. Sidestep any checks. Play maybe bishop e2 and a rook to d1. Counter the file where they have some activity. It's hard for them to pressure my center. I mean, I just have a lot of pawns. Let's not give them anything if we don't have to. And counter the file. Expand where I have the extra pawns. Maybe I can take on c5 at some point, but I don't know if I even want to concede the 2 bishops. Unless I have a good kind of follow-up way to target it. Let's chase their bishop. Maybe come to f5 someday. Keep everything defended. I didn't see this. Gotta go faster. Where's your knight going? Threaten b4. I almost blundered knight d3, but not quite. I did blunder the e4 pawn. I'm threatening knight c6. Alright, they stopped it. Still might have knight c6 at a critical moment, but I think I'd rather take this. Is it the bishop? Oops, that's blunder. Okay, well. Alright. Did play fast enough that one, and had a pretty comfortable position there. We move close to the top 10. How are the top dogs doing? Looks like the 2500 that beat me has won 3 out of 3. And the other ones, oh no, this other 2580 has gone 3 for 3. So the competition is definitely playing well. I'm going to play this offbeat QGD. I think when they do this, when they play a move like a4, should look to just play against their center really aggressively. Pre-moved badly. Alright, now I have to make sure I don't blunder anything on c7. It's probably better than losing c7, but it's obviously not good. They should block knight on c3. This gives me a little more pressure. Maybe thinking about knight d3 someday. Alright, I'll remove a defender of d2. Makes it harder for them to get out of the pin. Try to play rook c2. Yeah, I think I win a piece back. Or a piece. How to take? Probably just a rook. I can throw in bishop d3 if I want to just be annoying. Like bishop d3 to c4, and how do they move? Might be clever. Probably throw it in if I get the chance. Now they just resigned. Nice. After that terrible opening. Just played active moves. That can be the secret in Bullet, is if you find a bunch of consecutive active moves to make, it can be very tricky for your opponent. I got a big dog. Alright. Go for the English. I'm hoping for a... I was going to say, I'm hoping for d6. The King's Indian. Yeah. I think black is a nice game here. They can kind of quickly target my d4 pawn. Looking for a quick e5. I really like how they're playing this. Yeah, they've shattered my pawn structure very effectively. Queen d4 is garbage. I'll try to fix my pawn structure, but I don't think they will be gracious enough to let me. Though I have some pressure against e5. Maybe I can push c4. Yeah, I could have played rook d1 as well, but I feel this does a better job of getting rid of my weakness. Okay. Let's potentially have pressure against f7. Let's not allow their rook to come in. That's clever. Okay. I don't think there's a pin that's too scary here. Let's keep everything defended. They're playing well. They have a nice position. Keep everything defended. Alright. We'll try to go into an endgame where they have the passed a pawn, but hopefully I can hold. A little hard to free myself. Okay. How do I get my king out? Probably through h2. And then g3. Have to put my king in front of my pawn, so they don't have a rook check from behind. Okay. Oops. Blundered, of course, there. Too slow. Okay. I am losing in the ending position as well, but the slowness didn't help. Alright. Not a great showing so far, and without being on fire, will be difficult to come back, having lost to my two main competitors, but I'm going to keep going. Try to finish, somewhere reasonable. Looks like a lot of people have won all their games, so it will be difficult to catch up. But maybe they'll start playing each other. Gonna hope for a classical Sicilian. Ooh, I might actually get one. Bishop g5 is the main move. Against this, I'm gonna play e5. Go for, I believe it's called a Boleslavsky structure. I was struggling for the name of it in one of my videos, but I think it's just called a Boleslavsky. Guess I should take this way. The knight maybe can come out to c5 via d7. I have a knight e4 in the air. I'm not sure if it's ever useful. If they play like h3, it might be. Okay, I think my knight on e5 is fantastic. So now I quite like my position. I have pressure on d5. I'll probably play c4. Can I just take? Thought they might have bishop f3 there. If they did, they didn't see it. Alright, keep my rook. Alright, let's try to activate my other rook. Not sure where it's going, it just feels more active. Is this ridiculous? Maybe. Maybe. What am I doing? Maybe knight e4 to g3? Alright, can't go knight e4 now. Well, maybe it can. Should I play queen h4 if knight takes e4? They have knight takes f7 as well. I figured I had something. Yeah, let's throw in queen h4. No, yeah, let's throw it in. They can play queen f4 maybe. It's complicated, but alright, keep f7 defended. What am I doing? Too slow. Too slow. Too slow. Too slow. Yeah. Gotta speed up. This is why I said at the start that like it's helpful to have played, you know, to focus your first couple of games on calibrating speed, because it's easy to go far too slow. I'm gonna speed up a bit. Try to do a little better. See how they meet the classical. Here, I think I'll go for a Boleslavsky again. I got a nice position out of it. I just, you know, did not follow it up very sensibly. Try to play knight c4. Let's go for d5. Kind of the standard Sicilian break, after which I should have a nice position. Maybe I'll insert a6. Okay, I can come back. They don't have knight d5 this game. I do have d5. Now g4 doesn't really have anything to bite on. Knight b4, I guess. Their bishop's a little awkward. And how can I go for it? Let's just make a move I'm pretty sure is useful. Try to come to d4. I don't think they have a threat, so I'm just going to take on c3. The b-pawn is pinned. I still don't think they have a threat. Bishop h7 shouldn't work. So I think this position's winning, crashing through on b2. If, for instance, bishop c3, queen c3, b3, I can just rip. Like knight takes b3, for instance, probably. This move should not help much. I have all the discoveries. Which one? I think this one, so that my queen is more active. That looks like an undefended queen. Probably rook b3 next. And this is a funny checkmate, so we'll go for it. Did I have the checkmate last turn? Yes, but funnier if their bishop's pinned. Alright, how are we doing? Barely top 20. No longer top 20. Very sad. I bet we can make it back into the top 20 by the end. Alright, let's play e4. Okay, against the... I am happy to trade pieces against someone who has so delightedly given me a pawn. Alright, hit the bishop. Doesn't really have a square that keeps up the pressure on the long diagonal. Alright, they're just sacking everything. Rook d2. Guess I have bishop f3. And that should be game over. Throw on bishop c3, but I'm going to take on a8, I think. To swap some pieces. I just have extra material. Yeah. Yeah, swap some pieces. Try to get to b8 sometime. Or b7. Hit f7. Why not? Take everything. Knight d3, probably bishop c3. Gotta be slightly careful about hanging something in the back rank. But I'm not too worried here. For instance, knight f4, just king d1, I think. Threaten rook a8, which is checkmate in 2. And they did not see it. But, you know, up a piece and a pawn. Alright, got 1 point back for the rating, and are we in the top 20? Don't know. Yes, 20th. Yes. Clearly what we were going for when we entered this tournament. Alright, let's stick with e4. I got a nice one. Play an open Sicilian. Alright, I play this weird line sometimes with bishop g5 and bishop b5 check. And the idea is to very quickly castle queenside and push f4 and e5. And I think e5 comes with a lot of sting in this type of position. I can play bishop f6 and knight d5, forking f6 and b6, and force them to accept the weakened pawns. Maybe I'm trying to play knight b3 here, but I don't think so, because they could maybe just take on a2. Alright, let's try to keep everything solid. They can grab e4. They threaten knight d2, so I have to be a bit careful. Can they save the piece, though? Queen f5. Yeah, I guess they have to play queen f5. Can I just take this? Now their queen doesn't have f5 to defend the knight, so I think I win a piece. Not the finest example of this opening, but looks like it's going to be good enough. Yeah. Alright, gotta be careful on my back rank. Alright, up a piece. Got the win. And hopefully top 20. Looks like we're not on this page. 12th! Alright, on fire. Got the same score some people did after 5 rounds if they won all their games. But hopefully can get a top 10 finish. Looks like MPGM is playing very well. Alright, gonna play in English against them. And go for a Botvinnik's setup. I like an early knight d5 here. I think it controls f4 well, making sure we can take there if they push. They can take on b2. Probably should. Okay, keep f4 defended while defending d2. Can get tricky. Play f3 to make sure I have f3 under control. I blundered knight e2. Clever, yeah. Alright, nicely played. Well done. I was worried about knight f3 checks if I moved the bishop, but I should have just moved the bishop and allowed that, because with my bishop on g3, my king should be pretty safe. Nicely done. Nicely spotted. Good tactic. And I gave them a quick win, so they're very likely going to win the tournament. And by gave, I mean they definitely earned. Okay. No one plays Queen's Gambits. Everyone plays Trompowski's. Just going to say I have the 2 bishops, and I'm going to slowly hope to unwind and have a nice position. They will counter my 2 bishops. This makes sense. Yeah. But I like the 1 bishop nonetheless. I'd like to take on d4. I feel the c-file is good for me. They should play knight b5, I think. I should insert a6 at some point. Yeah, because this is a little annoying. Alright, gotta keep that defended. Didn't want to hang knight takes a7, or knight a7 if I played a6. So I'll play a6. Double on the b file, threatening to push b5 or d5. Defend d6 with the king, I guess. Bishop c3 at all annoying? Probably not. Gonna play b5 so my bishop doesn't get trapped. They can push b4 and c5, actually. I blundered this. No, b4, I have bc4. Okay. I don't get it. So I will take. No fear of ghosts. Try to play d5 so they don't have a target, and then double on the c-file. Why did I do that? I don't know. Bishop was good there. Maybe play a5, a4. Okay. And just try to go into a pawn-up endgame. And of course this is ridiculous. Alright. Now I gotta play this was even worse. Now they get to my pawn. King c6. Had to play it last turn. Terrible blunder. Just threw away this game multiple times. Okay. They should not have given up the tempo there, and they should not have gone there with the king. Now, somehow, I'm going to win this game. Truly ridiculous, horribly played endgame. Nope, don't want to pre-move that. Continues to be a horribly played game, just real bad, real dark game. Somehow in the top 10 after that one. Of course, every move there showed inadequate understanding of the opposition, at least for bullet performance. Real bad endgame. Obviously, I should have pre-moved hg5 too. Alright, we got the opponent who shall go unnamed. Play a classical Sicilian. I guess go into a dragon. The knight on b3 seems not well placed. Is swapping that off such a big win? I don't know. But They're quick. Now, generally, if someone is this quick and rated around 2200, it means their actual moves are going to be a little suspicious, because if you're this quick, you should probably be rated higher if you're making good moves. And indeed, they have made a fair number of mistakes here in their lust for speed. Now rook c1 is coming. They should play bishop f4 probably. Nope. And that's mate. Next turn. Alright. Have we made it back to the top 10? We have. This has been a poor run. Lost about 20 rating points so far in it, but you know, what you gonna do? Did make it top 10 though. For a moment at least. Can win the last game, should be able to hold it. Play another classical Sicilian. Okay, didn't get it. I'm going to try to just close the center. Okay. I wish I didn't have my pawn on c5, but... And I wish I could play d5 here. So maybe I'll try to set up d5. Yeah. This looks... c4 trap the bishop? Yes. Alright, somehow got a wonderful position out of this opening. I don't think anything's hanging, so I'll just bring the king back. Maybe play rook e8 at some point. Just ask their queen where it wants to sit. Where's your knight going? My pawns look pretty good. Just gonna try to solidify them a bit. Let's put my bishop on a secure square. Just make sure nothing's loose. But now it is loose. Alright, that was a few bad moves. Didn't really have a plan. Now I'm allowing my king to be opened up. What am I doing? What am I doing? Bishop f6 and queen h6? Okay, this doesn't look as threatening. Let's... No, yes. They don't have a rook in, so... Okay. I might have busted myself here, because yeah, they can just take that. Ah! Don't play queen f7 because of knight h6. No discovered checks. Oh. Yeah, okay. Alright, that was scary. That was not well played. Up to 6th. Won't have enough time for another game, so I'm just going to pause. And I think I got 6th in this one. Not the ideal showing, though everyone ahead of me but one was, you know, similarly rated. But they did score a lot better than I did. Yeah. Alright. Poor showing. I'm going to play one more tournament for this video, and I'm going to stop. I thought MPGM played really nicely, especially in their game against me. This one. They beat me twice. I forgot about the other one. But this one I thought they played really nicely. This one I probably should have been able to draw. Chess Flash beat me in the opening game. I was too slow that one. I don't think I played the other top people because I didn't perform well enough. And 1980 has passed me. That is a shame. Alright, 7th place finish. Not great. Let's do better in the second one. So I'm gonna go play another tournament. Ooh, it's Hyper Bullet. In that case, I'll just play a few random bullet games and call it a video. Alright, let's go in English. Let's go for d4. I like knight c2 in these lines. I know it's not, like, right, but I really like keeping this control over d5, and I can come to e3 and then come to d5 and just occupy a very nice square. And by having both knights ready to come there, I get easy occupation. Trying to play b4. My rook's almost trapped by bishop b1. Is it trapped? No, not quite, but very close. That's goofy. This is a blunder, because their queen is loose. And I'll put my rook on a silly square. Give them hope. Queen a5 is cute because knight a5, knight e7, but it's not actually good. Alright, they got their pawn back. Oh, I should play bishop e4 maybe at some point. Bishop e4, f5, is this helpful to me? Maybe not. Okay, let's open things up for my other bishop. Ooh. So they can't take knight because of knight e7. So I've opened up some squares. Gotta be careful here. Let's hit f5. They're going to take on c4 probably. It's hard for them to defend f5 very effectively. Okay, take f5. Knight c4. Knight e7 check. Because if rook takes queen d8, and if their king moves, I take g6 with check. And then I have this cute finish. Nice. Alright, played a good game. Played a good game. I feel good about that one. And that was as my viewers went to 0, but, you know, it was a good win. Alright. Play a couple more. Let's play e4. I've been liking... Alright, let's go for a quick h4, h5. See if that bothers them. Keep d4. We'll sack e4. They'll try to take it back if they let me. They did not. Let's play h6. Maybe just f3. Say, down a pawn, but your bishop's awkward, and I have nice squares for my pieces. I like this play from them. Trade here so that I can play c4 and drive away their knight if needed. I don't like being in this pin. Let's go active. Maybe look to play d5. Gotta speed up, as always. Maybe d5 can poke at a7 in a sneaky way. Not sure this is good, but let's go for it. Yeah. This looks not good. Let's try to get my queen to a8 in a useful way. Now this is interesting. I might win a piece. Yeah. Threatening bishop g6. Gotta be fast. Alright, it was fast enough to get the draw. Didn't think I would get there in time, but managed to pick off their last pawn. Gonna play... Ooh, had a nice game against this guy last time. This player. Their classical Sicilian. Will we get another bishop e3? Will we get the main line with bishop g5? This is a little odd. I think I'll go for a dragon structure again. I think any time white does something a bit peculiar, I should be happy and ready to play dragon structures. I have to take back queen. I can't play queen e1 because of knight e7. So, probably slightly inaccurate here. Gonna have to be careful. I have a pawn, but it's pretty dangerous. Probably just gonna try to take on a2 though. Why not? Alright, let's keep everything as under control as it can be. Maybe play queen c7 at some point. Okay, just take another pawn. Let's be ready to take on f4 if I get scared. Yeah. Maybe just take on f4 and then take on e5 and say my two bishops are really fun and good to play with. I'm going to try it. Looks active and pleasant to play. Such pretty bishops. Maybe play for f5 so they don't have pressure there. I like my bishops. I believe in them in an endgame. Ooh, and they have already come good. Alright, again, quite slow, but got there in the end. I really like any time someone does something weird against the classical, like knight b3 or knight c6. Just saying, okay, I can get this dragon structure, but you can't now go for the really dangerous kind of Yugoslav lines. Just seems like a pleasant thing to enter. It does mean to play the classical you need a lot of ability to hop from one Sicilian type to another, because you're going from kind of Boleslavsky, more Najdorf structures to... what do I want to play here? Let's go d5. And this is actually a transposition to the Queen's Gambit accepted, but White's knight is slightly misplaced on... What's going on? So the bishop. Slightly misplaced on c3. And so these positions are supposed to be equal for black. I believe that. I do like how they're playing it, though. I think they've found nice ways to activate. Try to play knight c3. Now I got the two bishops. So I can't be unhappy. Yeah, I do like how they're playing this. They're contesting the squares they should be contesting. Ooh, have I blundered? I think I've blundered. b4. Yeah. Well played. I can play... No, I can't play queen c6. Alright, I'm going to grab g2. Exchange for the bishop. Try to get something out of this. But the position is super lost. And I'm low on time. So unless they just make some very bad moves, I will be very shortly losing. Another nice one. Try to swing out the other way. I'll pre-move this, because if it's not good, I'm going to lose on time anyway. Yeah. Try to play bishop h3. I don't know what this was, just as my position was okay again. Yeah, too slow. Alright, let's do one more. Try to end on a win. Fate says flexibility rewards the hard worker. Yeah, flexibility is not the most practical thing to demand out of your openings. Especially because I have not worked on the closed Sicilian particularly hard. Just playing a Botvinnik because I'd like to win a game and it's what I'm comfortable in. So, hoping this goes. Can I go for d4? Don't want to, and I can't. So, that combines well, but I shouldn't. But might slowly build for it. Might play knight d4 at some point. Just going to make some kind of useful moves that probably don't blunder anything. I don't mind them taking on f4. I don't think my bishop is that important to keep. But which way do I want to take back? I'd go this way. Maybe play knight g3 and f5. I missed this. Clever. Okay. Let's give them those pawns. And I will try to push on the... Oh, I didn't realize I was hanging d4 as well. Ooh, this is terrible. Just terrible. Alright. Can't even push f5 yet. So let's pretend my pin does something. Maybe come into d6. This has been very poorly played by me. Alright. I get an exchange, though. And maybe I'll bring the other knight to d6. Why not? They have queen e6 or there. Okay. I'm gonna try to trade because I don't know. Because I feel like it. Yeah, this is pretty disastrous. And slow. So slow. Yeah, I can just resign. Okay. If I fall under 2490, I'll stop. If I get over 2500, I'll stop. That seems like a good way to set this up. Let's go for a BOGO. Quite like the BOGO. Watched Greg Shahade play it a lot and picked it up. d6 is slightly imprecise there, but no one ever punishes it. d5, knight b8, the knight's going to reroute via a6 or d7, try to undermine their queenside expansion. Delighted if they ever take on a5, because my knight just goes to c5. It's a bit strange. I'll evict the knight. No, I won't. Why am I blundering everything every turn? I just totally blundered the d6 falls. Ugh. Okay. I guess we get b4, but I don't deserve it. Blundered that too. Alright, try to get active. Maybe they'll blunder a knight. Maybe knight d3 will have some use. Don't know if it does. Let's go knight e4 first. Now knight d3? Do I get f2? I was just trying to be sneaky. This shouldn't have paid off, but now my position might be not completely busted. I don't even have any useful discoveries. Alright, they had no need to do this. Alright, we'll threaten checkmate. Oh, it's not even checkmate. What am I doing? I can resign now. Just horrible blundering. Alright, they should keep their queen on, of course. I created Luft. So now... still checkmated. Nice, okay. Gonna call it a video. That was pretty suspicious. Cheers.